Welcome back, champion, to another interesting lesson. Now, we'll be talking about my extended family. My extended family. And today's agenda, we'll be talking about the members of the extended family and the family tree. The members of the extended family and the family tree. Remember in our last class we talked about the nuclear family, and we said the nuclear family is a family with mother, father, and their children, right? Father, mother, and their children make up a nuclear family. Now today we're talking about the extended family. Extended. Now, the extended family consists of members of the nuclear family, that is, the father, the mother, and the children, and also other relatives. Other relatives. Remember, we said a family is a group of people related to each other, right? Now, other relatives like grandmother, grandfather, uncle, auntie, cousins make up the extended family. Make up the extended family. Now, the extended family consists of father, mother, children, grandmother, grandfather, uncle, aunt, cousins. All of them make up the extended family. Now let's look at the members of the extended family one after the other. Grandmother. Grandmother. Now, who is your grandmother? Your grandmother is your mother's mother or your father's mother. Your grandmother is your mother's mother or your father's mother. Or we can say grandmother is the mother of your mother or the mother of your father. Grandmother. Now, the other member of the extended family we'll be looking at is grandfather. Grandfather. Now, who is your grandfather? Your grandfather is your mother's father or your father's father. Grandfather is your mother's father or your father's father. Or you could say grandfather is the father of your mother or the father of your father. Grandfather. Now, the next family members we'll be looking at is uncle and auntie. Uncle and auntie. Now, if your mother or your father has a brother and a sister, right? They are your uncle and your auntie. Now, your father's brother or your mother's brother is your uncle. Your father's brother or your mother's brother is your uncle. You could say the brother of your mother or the brother of your father is your uncle. Now, if your mother or your father has a sister, she should be called auntie. So you can say your father's sister or your mother's sister is your auntie. Your father's sister or your mother's sister is your auntie. Now, if your uncle and your auntie have a family, your uncle has a family, your auntie has a family, and they give birth to children, right? They are your cousins. they are your cousins. Now, the child of your auntie's child is your cousin. Your mother's sister's child is your cousin. So who is your mother's sister? Auntie, right? The child of your auntie is your cousin. So your mother's sister's child is your cousin. Your mother's brother's child is your cousin. Your father's sister's child is your cousin. Your father's brother's child is your cousin. So you can say your auntie's child is your cousin and your uncle's child is your cousin. And these are the members of the extended family. Now, let's talk about family tree. Family tree. Family tree is a chart that shows all the people in a family over many generations and their relationship to one another. A family tree is a chart that shows all the people in a family over many generations and their relationship to one another. Now let's look at an example of a family tree. This is a family tree showing about 2 or 3 generations, starting from the grandmothers and the grandfathers. Now, there are some family trees that show the great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, but this family tree starts from the grandmothers and the grandfathers, right? So this is about 3 generations. This is a family tree, the chart showing members of a family over 3 generations, right? Now, let's start with me. If you look at the image on your screen, you see a boy's picture tagged me. Now, let's call this me John. Let's say the boy is John. Can you see John? John has a sister. John has a sister. And if you follow the chart, it leads to dad and mom, right? Dad and mom. Dad and mom gave birth to John and his sister. So dad and mom is father and mother to John and his sister, right? Now, who gave birth to dad and mom? Who is the mother and father of dad? The mother and father of your dad is grandmother, grandfather, but yet represented as grandpa and grandma. Most of us call our grandparents grandma and grandpa. So the parents of dad are your grandparents. Now, mom also has her own parents, right? Grandpa and grandma. The parents of your mom are your grandparents. Now, grandma and grandpa from mom's side gave birth to uncle and auntie. So the brother of your mom, the brother of your dad is called uncle, as you can see on the chart. And the sister of your mom or the sister of your dad is called auntie or aunt, right? Now, aunt gave birth to 2 children, right, from the dad side, and they are called cousins, your cousins. So your aunt's children are your cousins. Your mother's sister's child or your mother's sister's children are your cousins. Now, this is a family tree. Grandpa, grandma gave birth to daddy and mommy, and also gave birth to aunt and uncle. So aunt and uncle, they are dad and mom's sister and brother, right? Aunt and uncle gave birth to children, and they are my cousins, or they are your cousins, right? Now, this is a family tree. Now, before we go, let's take this quick quiz. What is a chart that shows all the people in a family over many generations and their relationship to one another called? What is a chart that shows all the people in a family over many generations and their relationship to one another called? Now, do well to answer this question for me in the note section. We have now come to the end of the class. Thank you for joining us today. See you in the next class. Bye.